I am trying to just offload it all. Refractor. Spellbound 21, yep, that's the card.
That's a beautiful card.
Kind of spiraling a little bit up into the point where I was like, something's got to change.
There's no way I'm out on this one. So we're in downtown Benton, Kentucky right now. This is a beautiful spot. I mean, everything's awesome about this little spot. We're gonna meet with a gentleman named Bobby who's got a lot of LeBron James, a high-end LeBron James, some autographs. He's got lots of bulk that we're gonna see if we can potentially fit in our car today. But first, let's jump in here and see if there's some cards. All right, so we're at the Benton Marketplace and tons of antiques, but right around the corner here, obviously, right, we gravitate towards sports cards, and it's a collectible shop. Rockhound Collectibles. They got Kobe's, they got Jordans, they got a Stan Musial 49 Bowman down here. This was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
So the owner of this shop, how long has he had his booth here?
7 months or so.
Okay. A lot of people come in looking for sports cards. I am definitely going to buy one of these cars. I want this green one down here, the very bottom row. These are some of my favorites. 2000 Exceptional, Mark McGuire. He's got some cool stuff in here. I wasn't expecting to find all of this vintage here. You got the Mays, you got the Aaron, you got a Reggie Jackson 71. That looks pretty good. It's a little overpriced, but I mean, what you expect, right? Do some haggling. Yeah, with some of these, you're looking at condition, you're looking at price, you're looking at, is there a possibility to grade some of this stuff? It's all low grade stuff. You know, it's all probably sub 4 grades. But man, what a cool selection. I want to go see this guy's house. 21st century tops. This is a 2000 tops refractor. It is beautiful. I love late 90s, early 2000 refractors. The beautiful thing about refractors is that I'm not the only one that likes them. The hobby in general is gravitating towards those types of cards right now. So if you can find them out there, you go snag them. Probably grades a 2 or a 3. You can see, like, you go look at sold listings for let's just say a 3. 2 sold for 75. He wants, in this particular case, he wants 140 for it, so a bit expensive. Hank Aaron's going to be the exact same. You know, it's easy to get excited when you see old cardboard, but you got to be careful pricing, right? They got to pay their rent. I get it. They got to mark it up a little bit, but these are out there. They're out there in the market. You can go find them. So just be aware. You can real quickly look up vintage cars like this. You reach a point where a lot of the good cards to get graded have been graded, and cars that have been sitting in top holders or collections are just really hard to get high grades on. So you have to keep that in mind when you're buying that stuff, thinking, oh, I'm just gonna go flip it and get a PSA 9 or PSA 10. It's really hard to do that with cards of that caliber that have been on the market for so long. We don't make mistakes, we do variations, it says. It's pretty apropos for card manufacturers these days. Eddie, owner of Rockhound Collectibles here. Ted Williams, Ernie Banks. He's got the Mantle Williams with COA. These are awesome. Look at this stuff. Another Mantle, DiMaggio in the back here. These are sweet. So I wonder what those authentications are through. You can see. So you always want to check the authentication. You got a Muhammad Ali autograph. Cool, man. There's some really cool stuff in here. Okay, so we're gonna wrap up. We gotta go see Bobby. I think they're holding our cars up front. Again, pleasant surprise. You never know these small towns what you're gonna see. This is a perfect example. How about that? I mean, good home cooking relationships. That's what this place runs on. She knows everybody in the city. She's talking about this 130-year-old building, ghosts in it, and stories here. They got antiques, they got sports cards. They checked a lot of boxes for us. It's glorious. It was never really a bad day to buy sports cards, but today feels exceptionally good to buy sports cards.
Hey,
Bobby.
Yes, sir.
Good to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having us out.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, absolutely. Come on
Cool.
in.
All right, cool. You got a lot of cards here.
I do. Yeah, too many actually.
I see them coming out of the woodwork over here. You got them on tables.
I tried to get it as organized as I could for you, but yeah, there's
a little mini show.
There's a mini card show here going on.
You see pictures all the time, right? We say, hey, qualify this a little bit before we come out. And you always think, okay, there's a little more that he's not showing in the pictures. Not the case today. He's got a lot more. It truly is like a card show in here.
So I tried to get as many tables as I could. I probably needed one more, but I think for everything that we'll go through, it's good.
Okay, cool. Well, man, I'm super excited. You sent me a few pictures, and I'm kind of walking over here because I see graded cards, but like,
oh yeah,
you're a big LeBron James collector.
big time. Yeah.
Why?
So that's the GOAT, man. In my opinion, I'm 40.
Okay.
He's about to turn 40 in December. So, and I played ball in high school. So, following that name, and it's crazy to think about since I was 18, and knowing that over 20 years later, he's still doing it and very dominant. And I grew up in the Jordan era. Don't get me wrong. That was the GOAT. Him and Shaq. You couldn't get any better living in the 90s and growing up watching Jordan, Shaq, those guys. But man, once you turn into adulthood and you see somebody that just dominates your entire adult life, literally, still to this moment, that's
pretty
insane.
Impressive.
Yep.
You're like, I'm 40. I feel how my body is hurting.
Right.
But
exactly.
he's out there dominating.
Yeah. I don't know how that's possible, but
Yeah.
it is. So I started back like everybody else did, collecting. He was just the guy that I was like, well, I really have to start going after a lot of his, and I just did a lot of. For a lot of his, I wanted them in slabs. I just like the look. So,
like, how long ago was this when you started going into
late 21? So, pretty much 21 up until now.
So the last 3 years.
Last 3 years,
all in on LeBron James.
Yes, yep, all in, absolutely.
So you kind of unfortunately got sucked in during some peak prices for some stuff. Yeah.
Yes, I did.
So here we have another collector who got in right at the heart of the pandemic. Prices were high, the attention was on the hobby. Thankfully, he went after the right players, but he is in a tough situation in the sense that he got married, his work's picking up. I can totally see why he wants to offload everything. Entering that mindset makes perfect sense to me.
That's fine because there was a lot of learning.
Totally.
I needed that anyway, so that helped me. But since I've went over to the LeBron model, it's worked a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you say LeBron model. Obviously, this is the LeBron model. All the rest is the non-LeBron model. Is that what?
Everything else is non-LeBron. And then like slabs, this box is all LeBron, and then that's all LeBron, of course. So obviously grew up collecting cards, but had a healthy 20-year gap in between that. These three, hundreds of slabs and.
My goodness, man. That's a lot of cards. So tell me about acquisition of this type of inventory. Did you get into ripping boxes? Were you joining breaks?
Not really many breaks. I didn't do a lot of breaks. So I was probably 12 the last time I collected cards, and then picked back up in mid-30s, late 30s. So around the boom. And I just bought a lot of wax like everybody else did and try to get my hands on it and open it and then just take those gambles and try to get as many hits as you could. I bought into a few of the breaks online and did that for a little while. I have bought my fair share of breaks, but I just didn't do it a whole lot. I just didn't really enjoy it. So I really, I had a guy at work that had a lot of collection, and he was just basically trying to get rid of those in bulk. So some of this I piecemealed from him, but over time I just started keying in on players.
Okay. And
just basically buying into those players.
Bobby and I are the same age, so I can already tell we're going to relate a lot to the eras and the players. And in fact, I can totally relate to him collecting LeBron. That's the guy in our era. I'm hoping that we uncover some 90s and early 2000s refractors and stuff like that both of us should really like.
Some Shaqs, a row of Akeem, some Griffey, Bonds, Sosa, McGuire, Piazza, Thomas. Like a lot of your 90s, goats.
I was just going to ask, like base stuff, but I pull out an autograph. So, like, how would you kind of define this type of quantity here?
How would I define it?
Yeah, I mean, low end, low to mid.
Low to mid, yeah. I mean, there's no like $100 cards in here, but there's a whole lot of nickel and dimers for sure, like $10, $20 cards.
Got it.
Throughout.
Okay. Let's pause right here. Put yourself in that situation. How would you be processing this type of collection in the moment? Do you try to find value in the lesser stuff, or do you go focus exclusively on the high-end cards sitting on the counter? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know your strategy.
The stuff I really want is on his counter. That's what I want to walk out of here with.
my wife has helped me greatly with this, but we have done some of the big Nashville shows. They do a national, is what they call it.
Yeah.
And they do that every quarter. I would just go down there. So get us one table. I didn't bring all of this. I just kind of focused on more of the mid-range stuff, you know, the $100-$200 stuff. And did really well the first time. So I was like, well, we'll come back and we'll make a weekend out of it. And, you know, I'd take care of her to do what she wants to do after the show if we can.
Smart man. You know, I can already see where this is going. We got the cream of the crop up there, and more or less the rest of this is just stuff. It's stuff that exists, but it's not a priority for many people. It's not a priority for him. It's not a priority for the hobby. It's really tough to move that stuff. So it's gonna almost have to be something where he sweeps me off my feet with, hey, take this. Otherwise, I'm gonna focus my attention on the cream of the crop. Why am I here?
Well, that's a good question. So I am trying to just offload it all.
Okay.
Get rid of everything. It's not really a downsizing as much as I'm really busy with work. I really can't commit to these Nashville shows anymore. I really don't like the selling online at all. So, and I've got a few buddies that, you know, have offered to buy this stuff. And once they caught wind that I was trying to sell it, it's like my phone started blowing up. But I was like, well, I've already got plans, so we'll wait and we'll see how that turns out.
Ooh, so he just said other people are blowing up his phone to buy his collection. That makes me feel a little better knowing that if we don't walk out with the deal today, he'll at least be able to sell to somebody.
But,
so you don't want to come home and scan a bunch of cards and list them on eBay and deal with customers. Got it.
No.
Okay.
Now, I have done some eBay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat that. I've sold probably 10 to 10,000 or so on eBay, but it's just been the higher dollar cards. But now at this point, it's like, yeah, you have too much. There is some good. There's some really good, and let's just try to get rid of it all. And I do have the LeBron auto, right? That's the
04. Yep.
Yeah, that's the creme de la creme of this collection, but I would prefer a different auto.
He's in tune with the market. He's going to have his price in mind. I just got to figure out if I'm willing to take the risk and jump in to LeBron. Are you part of any Facebook groups or anything for LeBron
Oh,
James?
yeah. LeBron James, NBA Sports Car Collectors Group. That is, there's about 12,000 in that group, and it's a great group.
Okay.
Just specific for LeBron James cards. And you can't post any other players.
Or you
It's
get banned?
well, the post gets deleted. We won't ban you for posting, but the guys that run that site are really good.
Okay.
And I've been the moderator now for a couple months, I guess, and it's cleaned up now and it's running smooth. And if I want LeBron, I'm going to that
You go to
Facebook
the group.
I go to the group. Yeah.
Wow. So you mentioned earlier that you had people saying, hey, you're selling your stuff. Are they people from that group?
I've not told them.
Oh, okay.
They would probably be livid to see this. And now there is one guy that I know probably wants a few of these.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, the time is now to bulk it and just get rid of all of it.
Boy, was he right. At the time of this filming, LeBron James is doing his thing. At the age of 40, he's still almost averaging a triple-double.
So is LeBron the type of player that PSA 9s and PSA 8s still hold value?
I think so. Yeah. Now, you know, a lot of your PSA 8s, from what I've gathered, a lot of times they'll sell less than a raw sometimes.
Yeah.
His tend to stick right with a raw, so it's still the same comparable price range for raw. Now there are exceptions, obviously. So, you know, if you find a rarer LeBron, chances are it's been graded or somebody's already cracked it. A lot of this is numbered cards, parallels, and some of the rarer stuff that's I don't see often. I don't even see it on the Facebook group that often.
Really?
And some of the people obviously that are on that group have some of these in their PC, and I'm like, hey, I need that card, and I'll reach out to them and I'll get that card.
Old school.
Yeah, I just picked that one up.
Oh, did you?
So, yeah. So it's like there's a lot of stuff I've still bought, right? But buying raw and grading is definitely the model. Over the last 1-2 weeks, it's like, yeah, maybe I do just need to get rid of this.
Yeah.
I've had people talking me off the ledge, right? But there's no ledge. This has all been rewarding, and I've loved collecting it, right?
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with building a collection. And then there's nothing wrong with selling that collection that you've built.
Yeah. It's just stuff.
It's just stuff, yeah. I'm not going to sit and hold a bunch of cards in a closet and try to hope that value gets added to them over time. I'm just not interested in that.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I think anyone that sells or is in the process of collecting and building these things, they have those moments. We hear about these moments.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get past it. Sometimes you just, if you don't respond to that, they sit in a closet for 10 years.
Yeah, they do. Now, this might be a collection to put in a closet.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that because that could be an option for you.
Yeah, so that has crossed my mind. And that Jordan right there is, numbered out of 23,
it's
a gold.
card.
Yeah,
those are sweet cards.
I bought a collection from a guy that had home run after home run after home run in the entire box.
Okay.
That being included, a King Griffey Legacy Showcase out of 100. The real one, not the one that was stamped on the wrong way. So I ended up selling that one in July.
Wow.
So I wish I still had it, but so you could see it. But it was a really cool card.
That's a cool card. 04. Bobby said he got back in the hobby in 2021. I mean, that's not a long time. 3 years. He's built a lot of knowledge. The way he's talking about things, very impressed with the way he's navigating himself through the sports car world.
Refractors, right? These are the double features for Kobe and Shaq. They made these cards with the refractor on the left only and on the right only. And they've made them without refractors and they've made them with refractors. So having these, they were like, I have to have those.
Because of Shaq or because of Kobe?
Both. That's the duo, man.
Totally.
That is the duo.
So this is awesome. You got the Spellbound.
Spellbound 21, yep.
So tell me about these because these are just so cool.
So these are numbered out of 49.
Yep.
It took forever to find the little E. I spent so long. Yeah, I spent so long trying to find this little E, and I've seen people on the LeBron Facebook group asking for some of these letters in the purple, which is out of 49. For 21, that was the lowest numbered that you could get in the Spellbounds.
Okay.
Now I take that back. There was the golds. The golds were just out of reach for me. I wasn't.
Yeah. Golds are to 10.
Yeah. And if I could buy 2 or 3 of those golds, well, great. So how am I going to get the other, there's 6 here. So how am I going to get the other 3, 4 to match it? So I thought, well, I'll just go the one above that. And it was numbered out of 49. And it's purple, which is color match to the Lakers.
They say anchor card. I use it a lot, like the card that sucks you in with an email. This is the one in your first email to me.
It is, yep. That's the card.
That's a beautiful card. Did you grade it yourself?
No. Okay. Bought it off the LeBron Facebook group.
Okay. Yep. This is one that you don't find graded numerically very often.
Right.
Because it's hard to grade.
It is hard to grade.
So you just authenticate it.
You do authenticate it. That's right.
Yeah, a lot of edging issues, but this is beautiful, man.
This is a very cool LeBron James auto. The 2004 Upper Deck Hard Court Wood auto was a really tough pull, and it's a second-year LeBron James, making it really high on the list for collectors. When I first researched that card, I noticed that only 2 of the wood autos have sold on eBay in the past 3 years. And get this, only 3 have ever been graded by PSA, this being one of them.
So we just found this in the box. 97 Gallery of Heroes stained glass. The true stained glass.
True, that's right. Yep.
In a tin. You graded this yourself.
I did, yep. And it looked good when I sent it. So I thought I was like, I have a chance here. So let's
good for you. How'd you get it?
Collection, yeah. The same collection that had the Legacy.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Clark, that's the gift that keeps on giving the whole year.
So on the table, I haven't gone through all this stuff over here. This is organized by player. Bobby's done a good job of organizing it, and probably his wife putting a lot of work into it too. Just flipping through it, I found there's some cool cards in there, some cool refractors, some cool inserts, but for the most part, it's just a ton of bulk that for where my business is, for the model we have, this will stack on shelves and we'll eventually get to it, but more than likely we'll never get to it. So that's the way I view this type of stuff. We haven't talked about numbers yet. I'm gonna guess, just kind of like throwing numbers in my head as he's going through cards, he's probably valuing it somewhere between 25 and 35. That's the range I probably think he's in. What he's gonna want for it, I don't know. But at this point, it's gonna be, hey, tell me what you want. You know the market, tell me what you want. So for instance, right, this entire box is full of Sammy Sosa, which is crazy. You got 1,500 Sammy Sosas. You got Piazzas here. You got Frank Thomas over here. You know, Rizzo. You know, I'll grab a handful of these and you can kind of see. But you'll go through it and you'll find, you know, a couple cards later, you'll find a, you know, an autograph. There's an Ernie Banks autograph, which is sweet. I saw the sealer in the back. Those are awesome. Hayward relic. So I would just classify this as bulk, and you know, Bobby's already classified it as bulk too, but definitely bulk.
So just a lot of bulk, 80s stuff. There's some stuff in there. Yeah, like some raw baseball. This is probably all the baseball that I've bought. You've seen the other boxes, but like some of the other stuff. And I tried to sleeve like rookies. Yeah. But I have no idea who's in there. I didn't follow it enough, so.
Yeah. Sports cards are awesome. Obviously, I want to look at these, but the Legos right to my right, I want to know the story behind this stuff.
Yeah, I think I'm a collector at heart. I think my wife is definitely a collector at heart. She doesn't really show it as much, but I think these Legos tell a different story.
We can all relate to the magical world of Lego. And yeah, I said it right. It's Lego, not Legos. You know what? Maybe we should start chasing hard to find retired Lego sets. What do you think?
Who in the world collects Michael,
what do you do with that card?
Michael Jackson stickers, right? Have you ever seen the Kid Rock rookie card? I've got that too. And the Eazy-E rookie card, you know.
Oh my gosh.
Tim McGraw. I've got that Tim McGraw rookie card as well. Some of these are empty. Like obviously this one's empty. Some of these more non-sports, just junk.
Yeah.
American Bandstand, whatever that is. Coca-Cola Series 2. That's probably when everybody thought Coca-Cola was like everything you could collect Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
right?
totally. American.
So let's make
crazy.
let's make sports cards.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that is, but it's like a 1976 colonial U.S. president.
You can just put this stuff down. Don't even do it. Don't even do it. All right, so the rest of this is all this kind of the same, but we got more baseball.
Yep, more baseball there. That's
basketball.
Again, the same thing applies. If it was a star, I would have
put it in a top loader.
Yeah, I would have put it in a top loader. If it was a rookie, I would have put it in a top loader. If it was a kind of a parallel or type refractor, there are some.
So we keep digging through boxes. Bobby's super kind. He set it all up for us. He's showing us the lay of the land. This is stuff I'm not interested in.
I think I tried to separate some of the Ohtani, but there wasn't very much Ohtani. Yeah, I can put these in storage and just sit on them for years, but why not find a home for these cards that people are going to enjoy them now? I don't have any vintage, but my dad grew up in Chicago, right? Shout out to Dad, but 68, 69 was probably the year he was going to Wrigley with his grandfather.
Watching Ernie play. I saw some Ernies in there.
Yep. So, and I had, there are some Ernies and Fergies that are in like card savers because I was going to slide those through SGC, but
got it.
The late 60s, I was like, hey, called the same guy. I need some late 60s Cubs players.
Heck yeah,
Just send that to me.
That's awesome.
Then you got, your 90s. Obviously, that's all hardwood leader inserts.
Oh, I'm tired of seeing so much of this printed. We see collections all over the United States. Almost all of these collections have this piece of modern where Panini printed so much of it. It's just frustrating. You mentioned you lost 70 pounds. Is it 70?
70.
Just this year?
Just this year, yep.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Congrats on that.
It's been I could feel my whole body being different, right? I'm still a big guy, but like losing 70 pounds over the course of a 10-month span, or it's actually been shorter than that since probably April.
Wow.
So 6 months or so.
What kind of journey was that?
I mean, just kind of spiraling a little bit up into the point where I was like, something's got to change. But leading up to that, I did have I have ulcerative colitis. So I do the quality of life that you have with that disease. If you're in the middle of a flare, you're at home. You're at home 24/7, and fortunately, I had a job that teleworking was acceptable.
Okay.
Because we're talking 20 times a day in the bathroom. A lot of people with UC, they try to, at least hope that they're trying to save their colon, because that is the end goal. You will lose your colon. Got admitted to the hospital, just was really bad off. So, that's when they start the steroids, when they start the and that stuff's not good for you.
Right.
So there has to be some alternative. And I'm very skeptic. After that, it was a big wake-up call, but they got me talked into what's called biologics. And I started one as Remicade, and it's the most common one, but I failed that one like a lot of people do after 3 or 4 months, and I've been on Entyvio since. So if you take October-ish is where I kind of got out of my flare, started having a normal life last year. Then Entyvio kind of has kept me just everything at bay, and then add to that the weight loss. It's like, man, that's a pretty good combination to have weight loss, significant weight loss, and to have, UC and this chronic disease kind of go away. It's an afterthought right now. Like,
we had no idea about the health stuff. What a story, what a fight. And I just appreciate the transparency of Bobby to tell people what he was going through and how cards connected him in those moments.
I'm worrying about where a bathroom's at most of my life, and now I'm like, what are we going to do tomorrow? So that changes things, and that I think that does change what happened with cards, right? And while I'm trying to kind of get rid of them and me and my wife start fresh, let's try to maybe take a trip somewhere, go do something, because now I have that ability.
I hate to go back to cards, but did cards play a role in that battle?
Yeah, they did. Because if you can't leave the house, right? You can't partake in card shows. You can't go out and do anything else. It's like, well, what are you collecting? What are you going to do to fulfill that? Because I have a lot of ambition, so I want to fulfill that somehow. And video games is another part of that. But it's like cards are a large part of that, as you can see. And collecting the people that you like and enjoy over those few years, got me through it.
The moment you experienced a few months ago, where like, oh, maybe I'm done with cards, has anything to do with your health being back? And
I think so, yeah, because now I'm like, okay, now I can work, I can go to work, I can be very productive at work. Because in my opinion, being at work is much different than teleworking. Being headset, you can make both work, but building relationships, talking with people face to face, like night and day. Totally. And I've not been able to do that, right? So you have that lower confidence throughout that time. And now it's like the last year, man, it's just kind of like, I don't know if you can tell, but it's kind of coming out of me, that is. So that's a good thing.
That's exciting.
I feel like a new human, which is thanks to God.
Amazing. If you've been following our journey, you know that the past 6 months we've come across a crazy Mike Allstock collection, a crazy Bob Greasy collection, and now a crazy LeBron James collection. Which one are you most intrigued by? So before we talk about numbers, I keep seeing these stickers with your name on it. Bobby,
yeah.
Bob Casey?
I'm the third though.
Oh.
So I'm Bobby Casey the third, and that is my dad, Bob Casey Jr., and he has a YouTube channel as well for his drone stuff that he does. He really enjoys drones.
What's the name of his channel?
Bob Casey Aerial.
Shout out to Pops. It triggered me because I'm like, all the drones that we do and stuff. Can I take those, by the way? Can I have a sticker?
Yeah, that's why, definitely.
Sweet.
Yeah, thank you.
You ready to talk about some numbers?
Let's
you
do
want to
it.
sell it.
Yeah, I do want to sell it.
So, you know this market. So I'm not going to act like I do.
Okay.
So let's start with that.
Okay.
I could easily go through, and I did. I went through, you sent me some videos of like a handful of cars, and I looked at the prices, and some of the cases were like, okay, it's a little overpriced.
Oh, yeah.
But the market's moved.
Yeah.
You bought stuff last week. I mean, you know what these LeBrons are.
Yep.
What is it you want for it?
Well, that's a good question. So I think what I ended up putting was 15 to 20 was what I listed as what this value was. And if I'm just talking numbers, I would think everything outside of the LeBrons would be like somewhere between 1 and 2 thousand. The LeBrons, so doing some numbers over the last week.
Yep.
I think it's a little bit more than what I thought.
Okay.
So I was thinking it's probably around, and this is kind of close comp area, 26,000.
That's what it's worth right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now that, again, there could be some onesie twosies that went from 400 to
Sure.
150, or some that went from 200 to 80. So that's very possible.
This could go one of two ways. One, I need to look at it like an investment, maybe hold these cards long term if I buy them. Or two, it's going to be a really hard negotiation with Bobby.
This would obviously, I would think, like numbers wise, and I don't know what like dealers typically want, you know, that they want that 70% range. Now LeBron obviously being liquid and stuff, like everybody knows most people are gonna pay 80, 85. Now I'm not saying that that's what you're gonna pay, but like comp wise, like liquid guy, one of the GOATs, I would think like it's gonna be.
You're selling this well, by the way.
Yeah. Well, and
but you're making really good points. These are points that the viewers thinking right now. Okay, this is a liquid dude.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing. I hope he's under 20. If he's under 20, then there's a negotiation that needs to happen. Anything over that, I'm probably out. What's the number then today you want for me to take it all?
Well, I haven't done any math off of that 26, 27, 28,000. But I would start there and then just take that comp rate off of that. I think to make it easy, and it's just such a good round number, is to just say 20 for everything and be done. Because that's a really nice number for me. That's ideally like, that's what I would want to get out of all this, to get out of, you know, and all this is not, and I get there's some bulk, but there are liquid cards in these. You know, your Griffey's, I've been on Facebook Griffey groups and they sell religiously, and there's a lot of gradable ones. And not all of these are gradable, like your marbles and stuff, but.
So $20,000 for everything.
Yeah, that's me putting like 20, I would just say 28 on it is what I would say for the whole thing. And then I didn't do any, like I'm a numbers guy, but I can't do that math in my head. So I don't know what 8,000 off 28 is, but.
Yeah, it's about 30%. It's about 72%, 73% is what it's
so
paying.
That would be
it's
really
very
good.
in line with,
Yeah. So that would be in line with like your bulk, like, and that's a good deal for that.
Yeah.
So if this is worth 26, then you're, you know, if you said, okay, 80, because I did have a guy that said, hey, I'm buying right now at 83 to 85%. I don't know how he came up with that number, but he's like, I'm buying 83 to 85% right now, and anything like 9s or 10s. And I'm like, okay, well, I get it, but I have a guy coming, and I'm not going to piecemeal this out before he gets here. It's just not going to happen.
Okay, here's my offer to you.
Okay.
Oh, no, this is my response to that.
Okay.
$18,300.
Okay.
And I don't take the bulk. Here's my logic for that. I got to go spend $600 to get a U-Haul.
Yeah.
Any margins I get, I'm basically paying just to haul this stuff back home.
Yeah. Right.
I would be happy to buy some of the boxes and piece some boxes together, but like you could probably sell the bulk and get $2,000 or $3,000 tomorrow on Facebook.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to cherry pick all of the good stuff out and then ruin that for you.
Yeah. And that's not taking any of this bulk that I have to put back up.
I'll help you put it back up. But you don't have to go drive 8 hours in a U-Haul. That is the core dilemma, because I do not have the space in my vehicle to take it. I could take this and maybe a box or two.
Yeah.
And I could very easily spend 30 minutes and pick a couple boxes of cool stuff that I like.
Yeah.
But like, I know what you could do. You throw it on Facebook Marketplace, you're gonna have someone buy it from you really quick. So that's where I'm at. Like, if it's all or none, then just tell me that, and we'll have to.
I would prefer that.
Okay.
I would prefer an all or none. And granted, I know you got to spend the 600. And if you don't see, if we're way off on the 1 to 2, like on all this bulk, you can tell me, and I'm okay with that, because I've not priced out bulk. Yeah. I bought piecemealed a collection from a guy and other collections, but it was all piecemeal. I didn't track any of those numbers, and I track costs for a living. And I just threw the ballpark out.
I think your ballpark's probably right. I know I really mean this. You could throw it on Facebook. Maybe not in Benton.
Yeah.
Maybe Paducah, but I got to go outside and make a phone call. Like this, we're kind of on the fence with this. I really don't want the bulk. I got to figure out a solution to this.
First things first, I had to call the local U-Haul to see if they even had a trailer available.
Sounds good. All right, well, we'll try to be over there in 30 minutes. Thank you so much. You know, Bobby's super kind. He set it all up for us. He's taking us around. But as you can probably tell from my body language, I'm not interested in this bulk. First off, we weren't far off in numbers,
Agreed.
which is good, right? Like
Yes.
the starting point is
Agreed.
we're pretty close.
Very close. Yep.
I really don't want this stuff, but I get where you're coming from.
Yep.
You don't want to walk in tonight, seeing your LeBron's gone,
Yeah.
but the rest of the bulk here.
Yeah. Oh, my LeBrons.
Yeah. So my proposal is we'll give you 18.5 and we'll take it all.
Okay. Done.
Done?
Done.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You have no idea what that means.
Is that good? Good?
Good, good.
Okay.
Obviously, I want you to be happy too. I do think this,
I think this is
You will
this
get-
is worth it to me.
yeah,
All the cash is going to this.
Yeah.
We'll figure out this is the way we're looking at it. We'll
Okay.
figure it out.
yeah. So no longer my problem.
Yep. You may
Thank
carry a few
goodness.
boxes out to you.
This is a lot. This is okay to get rid of now. You know,
Yeah.
since I don't have to worry about putting this back in a closet, figure out what I'm going to do with it. I do have to let the prized possessions go, but this will make a lot of those collectors on that Facebook group or wherever really happy.
Man, I'm glad we got the deal done. It was a few $100 at the end there. You could tell it was worth the price for him just to get it all out of there. And he was kind of emotional. And that just shows how attached he was to these things and how important it was. So sometimes these things work out exactly how you want them to. What's Elizabeth going to say when she walks in tonight? Is she going to be happy with that?
Well, she'll know here shortly, but yeah, she'll be happy. I think.
She'll be happy with that?
Oh, very much so.
Good
Yeah.
deal.
The easy part is over. Now we get to go grab a U-Haul and drive it all back home.
We're here at Lamb's Trailer Sales. They have a 5x8 out at front. We're going to grab it real quick. We made it with 20 minutes to spare. This is like our 10th one of these in the last year. Every time we travel, we end up getting a U-Haul. We go,
Oh no.
so here's the thing that we're trying to figure out. We got to go back to Kansas City, which is a 6.5 hour drive. And then Matt's going to take all the bulk to Dallas, which is another 7.5 hours. So those cars are going to be driven about 15 hours. Calculating costs for these, it's not just the cost of the U-Haul, which is, $50, a couple $100. It's the cost of gas, another hotel night, things like that. There you have it. Got it done. He's going to hook us up. We got the hitch on. It's all coming together.
Every deal is unique, and to get them done, you have to find a balance between what the seller wants and what you want. When you finally settle on that middle ground, it makes the drive home a whole lot easier.
Dude, we did it.
Thank you so much.
We did it.
Todd.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very nice to meet you, man.
great
I
to meet you
appreciate it.
too.
I'm gonna be so happy tonight.
Dude,
You have
you're
no
gonna-
idea.
Vacation. Vacation.